Did you know a dying star can get as hot as 600,000 degrees Celsius? This is 100 times hotter than our sun. But apparently that's all you need to melt Uru, the magic metal used to cast Stormbreaker, the new Thor's hammer. What was in an axe? Either way, scientists know today that the magic of metals is actually the science of manipulating atoms, and this is called the material science. But can we make Uru today? How far are we from making a material that can withstand the temperatures of the sun and eventually help us defeat Thanos? I'm Professor Castro. Welcome to Engineering Superheroes.
Oh, so cool. Hey, look at that. Sammy, do you think we can make a Thor's hammer? No, that's impossible. I hear it's made of some kind of magic metal, something called booyah or boohoo, or was it yoo-hoo? And we don't know how to make any metal, or do we? I was reading once that the first metal ever made was copper. It comes from this green rock called malachite, which actually means green rock in Greek. Green rock! So uncreative. It's like calling a place fire a fireplace. Wait, what? Well, it's descriptive, I guess. So then they get this green rock, mix it with charcoal, and give it some heat. This would cause the copper carbonate that makes up the malachite to chemically reduce, turning it into copper metal and releasing carbonic gas. It's pretty simple, but impressive. Ooh, look what I found. Let's do this.
Hey, guys, what were you thinking? You know you can't play with fire. Come on. No, won't do it.
I can help.
Who's this?
Who is this? Hi boys, I'm Dr. D.
Forget about making Thor's hammer. If you're truly a doctor, can you make some super cool experiments on us to make us cool superheroes? Like they did with Captain America?
Yeah, I could, but this was already the first episode, so no.
Episode 1? Is she like those crazy doctors who turn into a villain? Dr. D takes down Spider-Man. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyway, I can help you to make copper. It's actually very simple. We get malachite crushed fine, and then we mix with charcoal, also crushed, and then we can torch it up and heating until it becomes copper. The fact that it is so simple, it was the first metal ever made. It was quite a hit 6,000 years ago for human civilization.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Copper Age. Wait, the Copper Age doesn't sound right. It's because it's the Bronze Age, little brother. Because it came in 3rd place, of course. Who was first? Gold Age?
Bronze is a copper alloy. An alloy is a mix of 2 or more metals together. If you add tin to copper, then we make it stronger and we create bronze, which actually means copper in Greek.
This is so confusing.
It is confusing, true, but it's not difficult to understand why bronze is stronger than copper. It is stronger because the tin atoms block the movement of the copper atoms.
Oh, then like blocking football?
Yeah, sort of. When you look very close into these metals, very close, you realize that made out, not with your naked eye, but with a big microscope, you realize that the metals are made out of atoms. When they push it all together, they get very organized and aligned. Not very different than when you put marbles together. We push them back in, and then we realize that they align themselves. So the movement of the slidings of the marbles against each other are just like the atoms. So if you change one of the atoms for another one, you realize that that movement will be pinned. If the movement is pinned, it can slide, and if it can't slide, it actually means a stronger metal.
I bet Thor's hammer has a bunch of different atoms holding it all together to make it super strong. Oh, I know! We can make a Thor's hammer. First, we build a rocket ship with a special metal, and then we go to a dying star, and then we get in it, and then we find a giant dwarf, and then...
Wait, okay, maybe next time, but this time we can do it here on Earth. Let's make it with the incredible, the outstanding, the amazing aluminum.
Aluminum? Boring! It's the least strong metal ever. See? Weak!
Yeah, well, but they also use aluminum in cars and aircraft that we cannot smash it easily like this. It's all about alloying.
Yes, alloying. You take aluminum and then you mix them with different elements, so we have our metal to make our Thor's hammer.
Let's go to the lab.
Whoa! We are in the lab.
Yes, we are. So let's make two bars, one with pure aluminum and another with alloyed aluminum. So for this, let's see what kind of alloyed can we use. Let's make it with manganese.
Manganese. Manganese. Manganese. Yes, manganese is a great choice. Melting point of aluminum is 660 degrees Celsius, and the manganese melting point is 1250. That means that when you put manganese in the aluminum, it will increase the melting point. That means that the atoms are stronger together.
Atoms together strong.
Yeah, that will make them stronger, but also when you put the manganese in it, we will actually impact the sliding of the atoms, making it stronger, just like we talked about with the marbles.
Let's do two bars to test which one is stronger. For this, we can use this furnace and we can heat it up the aluminum, and once it's liquid, we can pour it into this mold until solidify, and then we can test. And we can do with and without manganese.
Manganese. Manganese.
Manganese.
Manganese. Wait, we need better music.
Whoa, these things look alike. Are you sure you did this right?
Yeah, sometimes metal alloys do look alike, but sometimes the alloying element do change the colors. For example, when you're making a gold ring, we hardly use pure gold. We actually mix it with copper and silver so that we can change the color the way we want. But you're right, these two do look alike.
But are they saying? Let's go to the lab.
Aren't we in the lab?
The testing lab.
How many labs are there?
All right. To test the bars, we use the MC hammer.
Hammer time.
The spacing machine is just a big hammer that drops and hits the bars. And then it measures how much energy the bar absorbs before it breaks. The more energy it absorbs, the stronger the metal is. What we have to do is put the bars in between the two holders, and then we're going to drop the hammer and see what happens.
Hammer time. Hammer time.
See, they are not the same. The manganese alloy changed the way aluminum atoms slide against each other, making it stronger. So it's absorbed much more impact energy.
So if we make anything out of manganese alloy, it's going to be stronger?
Correct.
Hey, I think we should give a name for it, like they did in the Marvel materials. How about manglignin?
I prefer aluminum manganese alloy composition 2.12 W174B. It makes much more sense.
I guess we have our Thor's hammer metal, manglignin.
Yes. But how do we make the hammer?
Oh, I know. First, we get the stronger metal, and then we build a rocket ship, and then we go to a dining store, and then we get into the ship, and then we find a giant dwarf, and then...
Whoa. Wouldn't it be easier just to call Thor?
Call Thor? Sure. Yeah. Use my phone. No, let's make it out of sand casting. What about that?
Sand casting? We're too old to play with sand. We're trying to build something here, mister.
Sand casting is beyond playing with sand, my friend. It's a way to give form to a molten aluminum.
Let me show you. First, we have to prepare a mold with the shape of the hammer itself. Let's make it small so that we can make it more easily. We build this with styrofoam, and we can take a foam cutter and shape it the way you want. Yep, and here you have the first part of the hammer, and now we just need to do the handle. With the toothpick, you can put all together. Now we have our hammer. See? Not that difficult.
Aw, those are cute.
All we want from a hammer. Cuteness.
Okay, we then need to add some channels here so that liquid aluminum can flow inside when we pour it.
Are those like YouTube channels?
Anyways, so we then use toothpick to hold it all together, because if you use glue, it will slow down the aluminum flow. Then we dig the sand and put the hammer with the channels showing out just like this. The hot liquid aluminum will burn off the foam and fill up the space, but the sand will cool off, so we have it in the shape of the foam. It's casting time.
Wow, the sand caught on fire. This is truly not playing with sand.
It's worse! We're playing with fire!
This is a special sand. It has a little bit of resin to it to make it easier to shape, just like a kinetic sand. What's catching on fire is the resin, not quite the sand. Now comes the best part. Wait for it to cool down, and then you just say, Shazam.
Shazam? Are we mixing Marvel and DC now?
Wait, for real?
Just say it.
Shazam! Whoa, so cool!
Yes, pretty cool. Imagine if you put up some piezoelectric crystals in it, then you can make it spark, just like the real Thor's hammer.
We're one step closer to the superhero world.
Yep, we are getting there.
There's much more to come. Aluminum alloys can't withstand the temperatures of a dying star. In the real world, tungsten is the metal with the highest melting point, melting at 3,400 degrees Celsius. And some ceramics, like hafnium carbide, melts only at 3,900 degrees Celsius and are becoming the cornerstone for space exploration.
This is still quite low temperature for Thor's hammer, and we actually don't know what is your metal made of yet, but we'll figure it out someday.
Yes, we are beyond fantasy here. By mixing creativity and engineering skill, we can really make a difference in the world. Think about the alloy that you just made.
Malignant.
Sure, by creating molybdenum for your hammer, you actually can use it in other applications, perhaps for a car frame or even for a spacecraft to the moon.
Or to a dying star.
Yes, or that. You can explore any application where strength and lightweight matters the most, and it goes beyond mechanics. Just wait for the next episode.
Engineering superheroes. Engineering superheroes. What do you say? Can we make Uru today? Not yet, but we're on our way. Science offers a brighter day.